I ain't gonna lie, play 1.4 story mode is kind of peak. I ain't gonna hold. Not even kind of. We get to see a ton of stuff for Miyabi, and we get to see characters from the previous story and how they played a huge role for this. And I ain't gonna lie, it is very interesting. I ain't gonna hold. I'm gonna take you through this so that if you don't want to go play through story or just want to hear me out, just yap or whatever, hey, you're welcome to. But until then, let's get started. First thing we see in this chapter is about the news, and I'm surprised this man still has his job for the amount of swearing he does. It's actually OD.
I don't give a mother. Listen here, you bedbang mother. Don't think the Hollow can protect you. The public security air force is on the way.
Anyways, when we see bro looking at the news and he was snitching that he was working with Sarah, I ain't gonna lie, I would have done the same thing if I was betrayed. And he was basically saying that he was a puppet to him. So once Nicole heard about this situation, she decides to speed all the way to 6th Street.
A few moments later.
Once she made it to Bell and Weiss, she spilled all the tea, and they made sure to bring Perryman as well. I know I butchered his name, so just leave it as is. But she was like, I got a plan, and she got a certain someone to help him out. And off they go to the outer ring.
Meanwhile,
So we have Bringer trying to fake his speech, but obviously thought it was not good enough. So he started to talk to Sarah about their plans and how they should go on with it. Off topic, can we talk about how Sarah's bad? Hey, I'm just saying. So they're in the outer ring waiting for a certain group of people, and that's when Section 6 came by. But there was one major problem. AMD realized they were trying to corner them to stop the cutting hairs. So that's when everyone was on guard. And the main reason why they're doing this is because they want to take Perlman and Proxy. But Nicole was not trying to have that. So she basically tried to cut off the deal. But something conveniently happened through Nicole's end. Everyone in both parties was attacked and gave him a chance to escape with Piper. So while the same lackeys trying to go attack him, Ambi said, you know what, bet, take care of him. When she got on the roof, they looked at each other that they messed up. And during that encounter, they all basically got off screen. And one of them was sent flying to Billy's truck. And dude was desperate to not let go. Dude was trying to get a race for trying to stay on for that long. So Nikamata was not trying to have that. So she done the most rational thing anyone would do in this situation. She straight up bonked this man several times and hit him with a devious ad kick. Had Billy surprised when she charged her kick like that. And that's when he finally got off of that truck. So another vehicle came out of nowhere and tried to reverse ram him. So they tried to box Piper up like she's from Fortnite, but she was not having it. So she shows them why she listens to Tokyo Drift on blast, and she pulled off one of the smoothest drifts in racing. She made sure they had enough time to do the 200 V-Buck emote. That's when they crashed into their teammates, and that's when they were taken off the radar. Sadly, the rest of the cutting hairs was in trouble. So Piper decided to turn up, but one of them pulled up with a rocket launcher. So he blasted at their truck, and everyone was shocked about it. And that's when conveniently only Belle was teleported. She found a secret path from Mario Kart. But anyways, that's when Miyabi was there, and she was staring her down. So while they were checking up on each other, Belle had a plan to go team up with each other, since both of them can't contact their own team. So they proceeded with that plan.
a few moments later.
So while Miyabi was protecting Proxy, her sword got infected. So once she tried to put her sword in her sheath, it started going crazy. Even her Foxfire changed colors. She also unlocked a new voice pack, but it's a voice pack she did not enjoy. So while Proxy realized it the MC, they went into the Foxfire to help out Miyabi. Once Proxy woke her up throughout the situation, they decided to go sheath the sword. And they basically had to do a whole power struggle for a whole 5 seconds. Well, if not, it could be more than that, but still, that's a very long time. But they managed to seal it though. And that was the end of the whole entire situation. And Miyabi was flabbergasted. So while that situation was over, Proxy decided to go comfort Miyabi. But Miyabi was surprised that she stayed throughout the situation. They could have easily run off so they don't get arrested. But then Proxy hit her with her typical voice line.
Because I'm your proxy.
So they move on from the situation, and now they're worried about fixing her blade. Once they made it out of the area, everyone was worried about Proxy, even Section 6. And turns out while they were in there, everyone decided to be cool with each other. And Nicole is now with peace with Miyabi.
6.5 hours later.
Proxy got back home, and they were resting. But they were done resting, so they didn't want to get caught up for what was happening. They were discussing how they should get back Perlman until this situation happened. They done got Fairy, man. Once that was happening, they got hit with another surprise. They got officers try to look at their place, and there's one room they wouldn't allow them to go in, because if they found out what they were cooking up in there, they're arrested on the spot, because proxy work is illegal. So you can see why they're panicking. But then Chingy and Zhu Young came in clutch and managed to stop them from barging in time. So they basically told them to get out, and their lives were saved. So Zhu and Bria assured that they're safe now. But Weiss was wondering how they came in with the clutch, and Chingy was like she's best friends with Fairy, and she sent out Morse code for them.
It said 011010000 011000101 011011000 0111000.
I'm not gonna lie, she didn't have to read a Morse code, but hey, it's whatever, because she did save our lives. So then afterwards, we accused the person that she looks up to and tells them that how we're a proxy. And honestly, she didn't take it lightly, but we had Miyabi to back things up as well. So she believed us and we move on.
A few moments later.
Proxy is trying to get Section 6 and Perlman out of the hollow, but they got ambushed by Bringer, and he tried to pin everything on Section 6. But Yanagi, with her quick thinking, she says all Miyabi's doing, and Miyabi followed. She even doubled down on it, just trying to asked a quote from Perlman, but he answered incorrectly, and he tossed him back to the hollow. And she says that you only have one option, checkmate. So that's what they basically did, and Bringer had to cope about it. After that situation happened, they was trying to go find a way to save Miyabi. Everyone was calm except for Yanagi. She was stressing, but then Zuyoung came out of nowhere again, and she wanted to confirm her suspicion. And apparently Perlman had a tracker on his neck the whole entire time. They were basically 2 steps ahead for capturing Miyabi, and they basically realized that Perlman was a distraction. Then they came up with the conclusion that they wanted her sword. Once they came up with that, they made a decision to find Miyabi by splitting up. Proxy decided to go team up with Zuyoung, while Chingy looks after the store. So while they were heading to their location, there was a ton of people in their way. So Proxy decided to use the hollow instead because they know all the routes. So she trusts them so they can go to a safe spot.
A few moments later.
So they managed to get in contact with Miyabi's father, all because of Lycan. While his voice still broken during this session, hopefully by the time after this video or whatever, they'll fix his voice. So once Proxy told Miyabi's father about the situation, once she realized the situation, he was planning on doing something. And while all that was going on, Miyabi had to deal with Sarah. And she was basically taunting her and everything about the sword, and she decided to use her sword herself so that she can extract the energy from it. So Miyabi tried to stop her, but it was too late. So she kicked her out of the vehicle, and she was going out of control. But then we see Miyabi in a different state of mind, but some of her questions was answered during this moment. So then she made a deal that she would eradicate all evil, and the voices was like, bet. And that's when we see Miyabi turn back to normal. So then everyone was making sure that Miyabi was okay, but then Zuyoung said she'll take care of her and chase after Bringer. So that's what Proxy did. Once they caught up with Bringer, they tried to make sure that he can't escape no more, but it turns out he has something in his sleeve, and he injects himself with some hollow fluid. That's when his transformation started changing the area around him. Once he fully got done, he was ready to fight, but his transformation was not good enough because they beat him with ease. So once they pushed him back, he managed to find some energy cores like the sensu beans and punch his way out of the situation, and decided to hit the sisters with a direct serious punch. And you think that would have done something, but nah, they got out unscathed. Oh nah, now I do think about this boss might be a fraud. I'll get to that in a different video. Only person that needed help was Proxy, but they got saved from Victoria's housekeeping, W faction. So that's when they all decided to team up. So while they're trying to hunt down Bringer on the high ground, they got hit with a roadblock, but another faction came by to save the day, and it was Coletta Bellabogs. And do you want to know something funny on top of that? Their voices are messed up as well. They can't keep on getting away with this. So once they caught up to Bringer, bro was absorbing a ton of slurp juice, but Harumasa was not trying to have that. And during his condition, he's not the bear to explode everything. And now they thought that they defeated the fraud of the boss. But then Sarah pulled up with a sniper, like she was part of a sniper gang, and shot Bringer, and got a direct shot. She don't need no aim labs. So then Bringer popped up with his whole new transformation, and he tried to eliminate them with his laser, but he failed, so their plan was to go to the shore. Once they finally managed to make it to the shore, they really didn't know what to do next. So they decided to try to finish him off with the final key blast, but Caesar brought Miyabi out of nowhere, and she cancels him out with pure ease. And dude was bamboozled on what happened. While he was crying, she was like, yeah, sorry for the wait. So she was ready to put him down, especially when they put her through those illusions. But bro was not having it and called out his minions. Now every faction had to deal with these small fries, and while they're dealing with them, Miyabi's faction takes on the main boss.
A few minutes later.
Section 6 was easily beating him, especially when they have Miyabi, and he was sulking about it. But Miyabi ain't trying to hear all that, so he tried to get all the energy so they can release a final swing, but Miyabi's already prepared for that. So she wanted back her sword, and she released a final slash attack, and it was basically game. So dude exploded like Broly and created fireworks, and everyone enjoyed the view. Once everything was over, Sarah basically reported the situation, and off she go. While everything was over, Bringer was still alive, but he got stopped by Bella and Weiss, and they tried to demand him some answers. So instead of complying, they decided to blow him up instead, which he got him with a direct impact, but they survived from it. So he thought it was BS, and I ain't gonna lie, I thought the same. So he said, you know what, you ain't gonna find no answers, I'ma move on. And that was the end of everything. And I ain't gonna lie, this chapter was amazing to watch and play. I ain't gonna hold, especially fighting the boss the first try. Oh my gosh. And seeing Miyabi turn up, in all honesty, it was peak for me. Plus the animations go crazy as usual. W Zenith for that. And I hope y'all enjoyed this type of video as well. I know it's not no type of EXE video or like the showcase for Miyabi as well. I just felt like doing something completely different. And I ain't gonna lie, this video took a very long time to make. Was it like a 2-hour chapter? And I crunched it down all the way to 8 minutes basically. And I would have gameplay on top of that for this, but then I have to go download my live stream too on top of that, which will take longer than I really want to make this video too. Here's my Twitch, by the way, if you're interested. So basically for this time, I'm not gonna bother doing that, but if this video does really well, then I'll do it, and my initial reaction on top of that. But yeah, anything else though, I don't really have that much to say in my personal opinion, but I really do hope that you enjoyed this type of video. And if you did enjoy, I'd like to appreciate, share, be nice. Make sure you comment down below as well. It'll let me know that you enjoyed the type of video. And lastly, my bad if I talked a little bit too fast. I'm still trying to work on it, on not trying to talk too fast while creating these type of videos is my bad. So you just gotta bear with me. But either or, I hope that you subscribe, turn on notifications so that you can tune in with me every time. Or if not, then oh well. I hope you have a good life though. But until then, I'll see you next time. I love y'all.